Hello everyone, welcome back. So I didn't want to go more than a couple weeks without putting out a video, but it has been tough putting together content that at least would be entertaining or informative for everyone to watch. So what have I been doing for the last couple weeks? I have been in thrash mode. You can't see, but over here we have just a strew of LS parts sitting around. I'm doing that because I need to clean house. I am planning to make some big moves, some big changes for me. It requires me to just get some stuff out of here. I have too much things that I can sell just sitting around, not even having a purpose, much less being used, right? So the two 5.3 engines that I had sitting around, one of them was, saw it in a previous video about when I was trying to get ready for Redwood Rally. Went to the junkyard, purchased it, come to find out it had been rebuilt with cheaper pistons, rolled the dice, ended up having issues with two pistons blowing the ring lands. It happens. I replaced the pistons, built the engine, put a nice cam in it, some nice valve springs, some nice parts, sold it, made some extra money. I went and pulled a couple Coyote engines that I have behind the camera here that are for sale and hoping to get those gone, make a little more money. All of this with the ultimate goal of getting this guy in the Nova. So this is a 6.2 LSA engine. I've talked about it a couple times on the channel. Basically, it's all stock right now. I have the full rotating assembly and I have the heads and everything that came out of the car. Long story short, the guy said he had low compression, or he thought he did. Took the engine out, had it sent to the machine shop. They checked everything, said everything's fine. He didn't want to wait, didn't want to put the engine back in the way it was, and built a dart block, I think, with a full forged rotating assembly. So he sold this guy. It was $1,000 for this entire, we'll call it a long block, had heads, valve train, and the full rotating assembly and everything. So, I mean, that's a hell of a deal. I've been sitting on this for a year. I wanted to put it in last year before Redwood Rally, but there was too much that needed to be purchased. It was one-off and I wanted to do it right. So, fast forward to today. It looks to me like we are going to be going on Redwood Rally. Registration is soon. My wife is interested this year. We were on the fence whether or not we wanted to do it again. Not because it wasn't fun, it was amazing. It was just, last year was so expensive with all the troubleshooting and parts and stuff that I bought leading up to that point that it was like, you know, are we willing to spend that kind of money and time again to go? And now that we've purchased all the things like the trailer and the drag slicks and all the, the roll cage and everything that needs to go in the car and all the upgrade parts, it is a cheaper proposition, and it was a good time, and we do want to do it again. So route is a little bit shorter for us. So we're coming from Washington State. They're going to be in Medford, Oregon as the home base, whereas before it was Sacramento. So it's less of a drive for us, which is nice, but still, a lot of the same tracks. So having said that, I did not want to go back and not be competitive, right? So I'm a little bit of a competitive person. I had a lot of issues last year. It was very frustrating, but it just came down to I didn't have time to test. I would really love to circumvent that issue this year. And my goal is the 5.3 that's in the Nova now, that runs great. I'm going to take that out, hopefully from oil pan to supercharger, and just put that in the BMW. So I don't know that that's going to get done anytime soon. But what I'm hoping is that while I'm getting this one built, so I'm going to build the bottom end factory, I'm going to open the ring gaps, appropriately, but it's going to be a stock rod, stock crank, which are really good in these motors. It's nodular, and then the stock pistons, which I'm on the fence about, but from all the people I've talked to for the power level that I intend on running with this, it won't be a problem. So I'm going to do basically a stock bottom end, refresh it, new bearings, new HP bearings, and all the stuff that it needs. I'm going to put some really good lifters in here. I have a set of Johnson low leak lifters, and they removed the plastic trays because they have link bars. I wanted to get something that I didn't have to worry about. There is a lot of concern over buying new lifters that are supposed to be good that are basically garbage for one reason or another. So I didn't want to have that issue, so I bought some really good lifters. I'm going to put a nice cam in it, and then we're going to send the heads out, these heads here, and we're going to have Frankenstein port them. So I'm going to go with the stage 1 port. It's going to be a considerable difference from what the stock flow, and the stock flow really well. So with that and porting the supercharger, I'm going to send it to Kong. It's going to get an X port. With those two modifications, I'm hoping to get the power level in the mid 7s to the low 8s, and hopefully it can run a 9, right? So with that comes a lot of other items. I need to put a roll cage in the car. I was really on the fence about this. I was very fortunate last year that I was able to run without a cage. Safety-wise, I should not have. Rules-wise, I should not have, but they were lenient for the first year just to get people out there and experience what Redwood Rally could do. Again, I'm very fortunate for that, but after that, I wasn't sure what direction I wanted to go, because putting a roll cage in the car is permanent, and it really changes the whole feel of the car. Safety-wise, when you're on the street, if you're not wearing a helmet, if you get in an accident and your head bangs off the cage, you know, that's worse than not having one. On the drag strip, if you're watching this, I probably don't have to explain to you, it's necessary. You hit a wall at 150 miles an hour, and I'm not saying a roll cage is going to save your life, but it's definitely going to help. So decided the car is going to get a roll cage, only because it needs it, and also because it will help the car. That's the plan. So the plan is 2024, we're going to go to Redwood Rally. We're going to bring a little more power. We're gonna try and run a 9, if nothing else. And I probably shouldn't be putting this video out, because people are gonna watch it and they're gonna be like, oh, that's your goal, which is fine. You know, I don't mind competition. I love it. I hope that I can do better this year, have a better showing. I really want to get the car tested. I think what I'm gonna do is, before I put this engine in, since the car runs and drives right now, I'm gonna buy another supercharger, have that one sent out and ported, so that I can leave the car intact until I'm ready to completely swap. So basically, I'm gonna take the Nova as it was from last year and try and get to the track and tune the suspension, so that when I do put the new engine in with more power, hopefully I'm a little closer than I was. I think I'm pretty close as is. I ran a pretty good number, a 10.7 I think is what it was, or 10.8. That's decent, but it really should be faster. My only concern is, since I don't have a roll cage in it now, they're kind of kicking me out of the track. So I'll probably run the 8th mile until I can get the cage in it, and then we'll do that testing, and then probably throw the engine in months before Redwood, hopefully. It's in September. It is currently the beginning of February. But that's the plan. I want to do testing. I want to get the suspension sorted. I want to get the car a little bit faster. It was plenty reliable. I had no issues there. The one thing that did surprise me is that the transmission bolts backed out from the mount. So I need to keep an eye on that for next year, or even just driving it. But for the most part, very happy with the car. Just want to give it a little more power. The BMW is a platform that, you know, I want to keep around for a long time. I really love driving the car. I really love the looks of it. I don't want to put any more money into the stock engine. And that was just how it came to a point where it was like, I'm throwing enough money in this thing that it doesn't make sense to continue to do so, to get to a point that I don't want to be at. Ultimately, I want to put a V8 in it. So putting money in the 6-cylinder just is a moot point. So the BMW is on hold for now. It's just parked right outside the door here. And once I get this in the Nova, if I have enough time before Redwood Rally and we're looking good, I'll put the 5.3 in the BMW. It really shouldn't be that hard. Plenty of people have done it. I have, you know, my way of thinking, and my way of doing things might take a little bit longer, but it shouldn't be that hard. So that's the plan. Long-winded, but informative, hopefully. I just tested a few things on the block here. I need to machine all the edges and get it chamfered and, you know, cleaned up mechanically, and then we can start assembling this. I'm hoping to get this done as soon as possible. Probably throw a video out of me assembling it and just going over the stuff that I do. But once this is done, hopefully the heads will be back and I can assemble the entire long block. And then hopefully by that time I've sourced a blower, because I don't have one yet. I want to throw this in here for anybody actually paying attention. I was an idiot recently, and probably should be a longer story, and I probably should just make a video about it, but I got scammed on Facebook. So I'm not an idiot all the time. I did my due diligence in a few regards, but I did find that I didn't completely trust myself, and I just went with what was asked. I sent money to somebody that told me one thing and ended up being something else, and I have no product to show for it. And that was a supercharger, and you can guess about how much money that was. And it was very uncomfortable to have to tell my wife that, if nothing else. But for anybody out there, trust your instincts. Don't send money to anybody without protection, and you know, buy local when you can. That was the biggest thing. Anyways, so I'm gonna end the video here. I definitely wanna bring you guys along for this stuff, but like building the 5.3 that I sold, not the most interesting content, and you've seen me build a 5.3, you know, countless times at this point. So these damn seats. So like I said, I'm gonna end it here, and we will update you when I have an update. So thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, thanks for hanging out. I know that, you know, having a video every week is preferable. I work, and that's been pretty crazy, and it's tough to, you know, go do car things when I have a family and a job that needs me. So appreciate you understanding. See you next time.